What's good, everybody? I hope everybody is doing well. Today, we're going to be diving deep into guilt and shame. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that deep feeling of feeling guilty when you want to do better in your life, when you want something nice, when you're just in that space of just wanting to move past things and you're still trying to hold on to it? Your old limiting beliefs might be holding on so strong that it makes you feel terrible about yourself for wanting to shift, for wanting to change. But this is a lot of the reasons on why we keep ourselves stuck, okay? And even when we're dealing with guilt or shame, both of these work hand in hand with each other and how we connect to other people, how we're running our life, our choices that we are making. So today, stay tuned because we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into what this means and how we can release ourselves from it and allow ourselves to move forward open, with a beautiful open heart, with a beautiful open mindset, and a perception that can be unstoppable. Okay? Okay, guys, let's jump right into this, okay? Because this is not going to be a long video, but I just want to break this down real quick because I think a lot of people suffer from this, and I don't think we give ourselves enough credit when it's time to heal, when we're going through something, when we're trying to elevate our life in that kind of way, okay? Now, let's start here. Guilt is saying, I did something bad, right? And you might be holding on to it and it makes you feel bad. It's like icky energy. You're constantly thinking about it. You feel bad about yourself. You don't know what to do. Like we all have been here, okay? Now, let's talk about shame real quick because shame is saying that I am bad. I am the bad thing, okay? I am the bad thing. So we have been there too, you know. I don't know any person who haven't had any one of these because everybody goes through it. Everybody, okay? So before we jump into this, let's talk about this real quick. I want to break this down. I'm going to put this up on the screen here, okay? Screen here so you can read it for yourself. Guilt is focused behavior based, right? This is all about your behavior. It is focused strictly on your behavior. It can be healthy because it can allow you to shift and heal and remove things and do better and want better and apologize and just be in that space where you are open for that, right? Now, when we're talking about shame, shame is more focused on identity, okay? I am bad. I'm worthless. I am nothing. These are the type of things that we are talking about when we're talking about shame. Sometimes these things come up because we need to release them. And a lot of the times we focus on ourselves with this because it makes us feel bad. And it's also very toxic, okay? Now, when we're talking about where it came from, where did it come from? When I think about shame, where did it come from for me? When I think about guilt, where did it come from for me? As growing up, if you do not know, I went through some things in school. I went through a lot of trauma where I felt like I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't good enough. I was scared to do things, scared to speak up for myself for a while. Like I literally been through that. And some of my adulthood too, because sometimes we go through things and we're not sure of ourselves in how we want to be perceived in the direction that we want to go through. I know I'm not the only one who has been through both of these, okay? So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but the thing is to change your perception, which is what's going to help catapult you into the manifestations, into feeling like you deserve that $1,000,000, into receiving the things that you desire to receive, because now you've released the baggage. You've released the weight that is holding on to you that you no longer wish to have, because at the end of the day, let's be real, okay? Let's be real. We do not want that. We do not want to be holding on to that when we're trying to manifest our dream home, when we're trying to manifest the things that we desire. Who wants that? Nobody wants that, okay? Nobody wants that. So some of these triggers can trigger you to go into social anxiety. I had that. Have you guys had that? If you had that, put that in the comment box, because that is something for me that really touched my heart. Like, I really didn't understand why I was so angry and standoffish with people. I really didn't understand it until I started doing the work on myself, and I went all the way back to elementary school where all these things happened to me, right? Now, when you're going through these things, like when you're young and you're going through these things, sometimes you don't realize you're carrying it. Sometimes you don't realize that this is actually happening. You literally put yourself in a position where it feels like you are the thing, like it is happening to you, not for you. Okay. And I get it. Like, why do things like bad things happen to good people? Why do these things happen to people who are just trying to do their own thing, their everyday life, and like go through it with no issues, right? But a lot of the times we are meant to shift out of that dormancy, because sometimes it's dormancy. Sometimes we're okay with getting up doing the same thing every single day because it feels comfortable for us. But when we challenge those limiting beliefs, when we challenge the things that we no longer desire to hold on to, that's where the magic happens, right? That's where all the beautifulness come in. And then you start to release and gain everything that you are desiring to have, because it is meant for you anyway. It's literally meant for you. If you dream it, you can have it. If you can have it, it's already yours. But you know what? Releasing that guilt, releasing shame is definitely one, because I literally would manifest and push away millions of dollars because I didn't want people to ask me for anything. People in my corner that, I felt like didn't deserve it, didn't respect me, didn't respect my time. People who were family but don't communicate with me. Things like that. I felt like these things would be an issue for me. So I literally would make myself small in order to receive, right? And that sounds insane. How can you make yourself small in order to receive, right? Well, that's exactly what was happening. I was only getting just enough because I put myself in a perception that, oh, I don't need that much because, if I get that much, then people are going to want something from me, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that. And that's literally the way I was thinking at the time. But you know what? I literally sat out in the yard and I decided, I got clear, I took the action, and I started holding that frequency of that I can have whatever it is that I want. It is my choice if I give or take away from whatever it is that I desire, right? So it's important that you understand this. And I say all of this to say that you are the reason, you are the choice. You don't have to stay in any energy that you do not desire to be in, okay? Now, let's move on, okay? Now, people pleasing is also on this list, okay? If you can see, I have social anxiety, people pleasing, self-sabotage, and chronic illness. Guys, do you understand that you holding on to things in your body causes stress, can cause a stroke, can cause high blood pressure, can cause obesity, can cause liver issues, stomach, digestive issues, skin issues. There are so many things. The list can go on and on, okay? So it is important that we understand that. Now, when we break down to the neuroscience, because y'all know I've been into neuroscience lately and I'm loving it, right? When we break it down to neuroscience, okay, it's literally your brain being encoded in shame, in the lymphatic system, okay? I'm sorry, the limbic system, right? Releasing it involves calming the nervous system and creating a safe emotional experience, okay? So when we're saying this, right? When we're saying this, whatever happened to you, whatever you went through that caused you to feel this way, it's important that you, one, address it. You have to address it. You have to address what hurts. You have to address what bothers you. You have to address it. Okay? You have to address it. Now, I'm not saying go to somebody who caused the issue and be like, you da 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 da. No. What I'm saying is address it within yourself. Write it out, journal it, sing it, dance it, whatever it is. Punch the air. Whatever you need to do in order to get it out, get it out. You have to get it out your system. And then hug yourself and let yourself know that is important. It is important that you feel loved in this moment, okay? That it is okay. You are safe now. You no longer desire whatever the guilt or shame is. You no longer desire to carry it. Calling your archangels, your guides, your ancestors. Build that loving golden light around yourself and put yourself in a space where you are now able to say, you know what? I no longer desire to be in that space. I no longer desire to be in that energy of lack, or that energy of self-hate, or that energy of depression or guilt or shame. I no longer wish to hold on to what happened to me. I understand that this happened to me. However, I have learned to love myself more. I have learned to protect my peace. I have learned that these people aren't for me. I have learned that this is the way I want to go. Okay? Creating that loving environment for yourself. Okay? Now, some ways how to do this. You guys know I love a good practice when it comes to releasing. And these are some things that you can do for yourself. Okay? One, I'm going to always recommend meditation. Meditation is the end all be all, okay? It is going to be what is going to allow your body to shift, especially from a neuroscience standpoint, right? Because then you create new synapses, you create new neurons, your neurons are firing all over the place, your body is tending relaxing, you're breathing, everything that you're thinking across your mind is literally stopping you from being in this mode of reactivity and slowing down in order to release what is no longer serving you. Okay, now this takes time, this takes practice, but you can feel the difference after one time of meditation, especially a deep, long meditation. Okay, now I suggest all the time when you're going to bed, do this. When you're waking up, speak life of what it is that you want. Like, oh, good morning. I am so great. And by the way, guys, I don't like using morning, okay? But I'm going to say it because I know a lot of people resonate with it. So, good morning. Today is my day. Everything works out in my favor. I feel good. I'm so glad that I got to release this guilt, this shame, this thing that I've been carrying on my back for so many years. I'm so grateful that I can be in this place of peace and love and joy and abundance. And guess what? You deserve to be there. You deserve to be there, because who deserves to be there if not you? Okay, if other people can heal and release guilt and shame and hurt and pain, then so can you. You do not have to stay in a place where you are not wanted. Okay, you are not wanting to stay there, so don't stay there. If you want to be in a space where you are filled with love and peace and joy and abundance, be around those who want to heal, okay? Because that's also important. Being around those who want to heal, number one, and being around those who understand that you are healing and shifting and changing, because you'll be surprised how many people are out here that do not care about you shifting and healing. They only want you to stay in the same place because it benefits them in some kind of way, okay? Now, we all go through this, and it's in different places, it's different cycles in our lifetime. However, we all go through this. So you're never alone when you're feeling guilty, when you're feeling shame, okay? Because not all of us are in that space where we have everything that we desire, and we're not all the way healed yet, and we're not in our best form every single day. And sometimes that can make us feel guilty. That can make us feel bad, right? So it's important that we understand on how to heal, how to cleanse that energy. Even when you're having a bad day, meditation is the key, okay? I will always recommend this to everyone because I promise you it has helped shift my life, my perception, my thought forms, my wealth, my abundance, what I feel like I deserve, okay? So I'm telling you, do this. Meditation is number one on this list, okay? Now, number two is writing yourself a forgiveness letter. I love doing this because for me, I got to pour my heart out. I got to cry about it. I got to feel everything that I did not want to come out, okay? And there's an actual big release that's happening when you do this. Now, I'm going to give you this disclaimer, like, you have to understand these emotions that is coming up. Do not push them back down. When you're writing this letter, you are to pour everything. I don't care if it's pages after pages after pages. You deserve this release. So you deserve to release it out of your system, out of your energetic field. You deserve to be free from it, okay? It is not yours to carry. Okay, it is not yours to carry. You are a high vibrational being, and you are meant to be love, peace, love, light, and joy, and that is who you are. So it is time that you dust all the dust off of you. Get up, pat yourself on the back, and release. Okay, release. Hold nothing back in this forgiveness letter. Okay, now when you get to the end, this is the crucial part, because you actually have to say, I forgive myself. I forgive them. I forgive the situation that made me feel guilt or shame. I forgive them, for lack. I forgive for anger. Whatever it is that you choose to add along with that, add it. But make sure that you are fully stepping into your power, where you are allowing yourself to actually say these words out loud as well. Okay? Say them out loud to yourself. But also, make sure that you're writing it out. I suggest using blue or black ink, okay? I suggest you using blue or black ink. So the other thing that I want you to do is be able to express the compassion towards the people in the letter that you are writing. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, sometimes people are hurt. Hurt people hurt other people. Those people sometimes do not realize what they're doing. They're just reacting. And it's a constant cycle that is happening in their subconscious. And it's a constant cycle that is happening in their world. So they do not understand when you desire one specific thing. They may be reacting and responding to another thing in their head, and it comes across as an attack to you, okay? Because sometimes it's definitely an attack, but these people do not know what they do. And you know what? That's easier to say because it sounds like an excuse for them, but if you look at it with more compassion, if you look at it like, oh, well, they're just not in their right self. They're not in their right mind because they're not in their highest alignment. This is exactly what I'm saying. They're not in their highest alignment. So therefore, having that compassion, that peace for them in your letter is going to benefit you greatly too, because it softens what was done. Okay? Some of us don't even know really like why things have happened. I didn't know. I just thought that, whatever the reason was, it was because I was just acting too pretty or acting too smart or acting, because you'll be surprised how many people get so angry when you're smart. You'll get surprised at how people feel when you know things that they don't know. Like, it's so many things and so many reasons why people have done things towards people, right? So I want you to think about it with compassion, extended compassion, and forgiveness, okay? That is our goal, to extend that forgiveness, because it's crucial for us in order to survive, right? In order to thrive, in order to heal and manifest. We can't be trying to manifest all these things and carrying this big old burden on our back, trucking up the hill. I don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It's not necessary, okay? So what we're going to do is, after we write the letter, add the compassion to it. Make sure you add everything that you want to say to this person. I like to run down how I feel first. And I like to tell them that I understand that, they may not have understood how it hurts me, how it made me feel, whatever. And then what you would do is then sign your name, sign the date, say everything you need to say, add that forgiveness, I forgive you for, and then say whatever, and address it to the person that actually hurt you. You don't have to mail the letter, because we're going to burn the letter, right? We're going to fully release it to the universe, fully release it back to God, source, whatever you call, Jesus, whatever, okay? We're going to release it. We're not holding on to this. We're releasing it for our angels, our guides, our ancestors, our God, to remove it from our energetic field altogether. We are no longer trying to hold on to it. And you can do this as many times as you want for whatever you want. There's no stopping you with this, okay? Anything, anyone, any circumstance, whatever it is, even for yourself. Because we all have been in that place where we have not always been the highest versions of ourselves to ourselves. Okay. We have not always taken the time to do self-care. We have not always taken the time to stand up for ourselves. We have not always taken the time to where we allow ourselves to be heard. Like, there are many things and many situations in which this can fall into. So whatever it falls into for you, make sure you're writing the letter with compassion, with love, with peace. Then you are removing it completely from you. Okay. You want to burn the letter. Burn it. You're no longer needing to hold on to it. Burn it. It symbolizes this major release from your life. It symbolizes everything that you no longer wish to hold on to from that specific details or situation from the letter that you are writing about, right? So you no longer need that, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys know some of this, but EFT tapping is something that I have been getting into lately. And you're just tapping on your key points. Like, you're literally just tapping to release. This helps you release, right? It helps you to release. If you have not known about this, look it up, because it's literally, like, it seems so simple, so easy. But when you're finished, it's going to feel like you're more relaxed. You're going to feel the release from it, okay? Now, you need to focus this around shame and guilt, because that is exactly what we're talking about, right? We're talking about the shame and the guilt. So do that. Make sure you're working on your breathing during that time, because that is crucial. Okay. And for those of us who like to use candles, you can also light a candle and light that white candle and speak to it like, I am releasing, and let the candle completely burn out, because the candle releasing all the wick as it's getting smaller and the candle is melting and all of these things symbolize that symbolizes like everything melting away. Symbolize it as something that is like now going to burn out in your life. Like, you no longer wish for that to burn in your life, to light your life up anymore. So symbolize it as it's burning out. Let it completely burn out. You might want to start with a small candle if you don't have a lot of time. Let it burn completely out. Let the wick go out on its own if you can. If you need to snub it out and then come back later and then light it again because you may have something to do, snub it out, come back, finish lighting it, and then let it completely burn out, okay? You want to let it completely burn out. All right, so now when we're talking about rewriting the narrative, because this is a key one right here, okay? This is something that we definitely need to work on a little bit more as a society, like rewriting the narrative of everything that we know, right? Now, we want to use compassion, and we can do this by literally allowing ourselves to speak what we want it to be in our minds, right? Speak it out loud, speak it like however you want, just speak it. Allow yourself to be in that space where you can say, you know what? Like, I no longer resonate with guilt. I no longer resonate with shame. I've healed completely from it, right? And here's one that I made sure that I wrote down, right? I'm going to give you these because I think it's cool and they resonated the most with me. And then I also have 3 affirmations after that you can write down and use for yourself. Now, so use these self-talking points for your inner talk, right? I'm good with inner talk. I love inner talk. When you are going through something, when you are in that space where you just need to work things out and you're not really sure, talk to yourself. Like, I know people are just like, oh, no, you never talk to yourself because that seems crazy. I talk to myself because I need to know, and I need myself to know what it is that we're doing, why we're doing it, what needs to heal, where it comes from, okay? That don't mean I'm out here like doing crazy things, but I literally talk to myself for self-healing, self-love, self-motivation, and preservation, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, like, you have you, okay? People don't understand what hurts. They don't know what hurts. A lot of us are carrying things that hurt and things that aggravate you and things that you are desiring to do in your life. Massive, beautiful, big things. And sometimes you need to be that one in your corner. You have to be that one in the ring with yourself, because there is no other competition. There is nobody who can really fully back you the way you need to back you. Like, there are people in our lives who are supportive of us, and they do whatever they need to do in order to support us. And that is truly grateful. But you have to be able to uplift you, okay? You have to be the one that pushes you to do and get up and work out and eat healthy and learn and live and let stuff go and try to be in your highest version. And like, you have to be the one doing the work on self, okay? It's good if there's people in your corner or standing behind you. However, if you're not the one doing the work, then it's not going to work. It'll fall to pieces because you're not actually doing the things that benefit you and hold you together like glue or tape, right? Now, okay, so when we're rewriting the inner narrative, here's what we need to do. Here's a few things that I want you to hear first, right? Because these was speaking to me, all right? Number 1 says, I was doing the best I could with what I knew. I was doing the best I could with what I knew. That one is crucial, because I literally resonated with this on such a massive level. We all only do the best that we could with what we knew. If you don't come from an environment of wealth and money, guess what? You don't know wealth and money. So you only do what you grew up seeing other people do. You only do what you hear about other people doing. But it's time to break free from that stuff, right? It's time to break free from all the things that are no longer serving us, because you deserve the world. You desire the world. You desire to be wealthy, healthy, peace, just all of the things that you want, right? So you no longer desire to be in a space where you are holding yourself back. That's releasing the shame and the guilt, right? So allowing yourself to understand that and soften the blow, because it is a blow, okay? When you have to go and realize what you have done towards yourself, this softens the blow. It is not an excuse, because you have to do the work still in order to get to where you're going, all right? Now, the second one that I loved was, I forgive myself for not knowing then what I know now. You have to forgive yourself. You may not have known those people wasn't good for you. You may not have known that eating this much would cause you to be in this position. You may not have known that you saying this hurt somebody else's feelings, or them saying that hurt your feelings, right? So being in that space where you can fully say, hey, I know I didn't know everything then, but what I know now is that it's my time to love myself, heal myself, and, go from there. Okay, number 3, this one says, I am still worthy even with my mistakes. I am still worthy even with my mistakes. Absolutely love it, right? Just love it. Because at the end of the day, we are all human, okay? Y'all get it. We are all human. So when we're making our mistakes, when we're making these things, everybody makes mistakes. Like, everybody didn't mean to go that way. I'm going to tell y'all something. Like, I ran into somebody who hurt me a long, long time ago. But you know what? I realized that I changed, because this person that hurt me, I don't really think they thought about it at that moment of hurting me. But I was still happy to see that they were doing fine and well. Why is that? Because I have done the work on myself. I have been doing the work on myself. And anytime you see yourself in a position where you are noticing the healing that you are doing for yourself, pat yourself on the back, because you deserve it. You deserve it, because I could have lashed out at this person. I could have judged her. I could have went the other way. Yet I seen her, I smiled, I waved, and I went on by my way, because it felt like, oh, there's that person I used to know. And then that was it. The first thing that came up when I saw them wasn't fear. It wasn't anxiety. It wasn't guilt. It wasn't shame. It wasn't anger. It wasn't any of that. That's how you know you're doing the work, because the things hit different, okay? Things hit different. So we're going to move on into the affirmations, right? So this one, I am not my past. I am not my past. My past does not define me. Your past does not define you. You do not have to stay in that space. You do not have to hold on to guilt or shame, okay? I'm going to say it again. I am not my past. I am not my past. This allows us to keep moving forward, right? It allows us to be in that space where we can say, you know what, yeah, I used to be like that, but now I'm like this, and I'm loving it here. You don't have to stay in that same place, okay? If you are meant to shift, if you are meant to be in a bigger, better, higher state in your life, and I think everybody deserves that. I think everybody should be. This is for you. This affirmation fits you perfectly. I am not my past. All right? So I choose compassion over condemnation. I choose compassion over condemnation. It's the same thing about seeing the person the other day. Instead of looking at them like, oh, you did me wrong, I'm just looking at them like, oh, they seem to be doing well. And then go on by my day. I didn't have to belittle them. I didn't have to judge them. I didn't have to break them down into pieces, because Lord knows I would have if I was in the past, okay? If that was me, I would have literally wrote them out like a book. I would have read them up and down the street. I would have, telling y'all, it was not pretty there, okay? So we don't go there. We don't want to go back to that person that we used to be. It doesn't make sense to. And another thing, don't allow other people to get you back to that place where you no longer wish to be, okay? Because that's the hurt part of you. That's the part of you that you no longer want to hold on to or desire to be with, okay? So don't allow other people to make you drop back to that person that you didn't want to be in the first place, okay? That's survival. That survival style person. You don't want to be there. Nobody wants to be there. However, people get comfortable there and they sing it. They write it on their arm and all over their forehead. Oh, this is who I am and this is what it is. And instead of just saying, you know what, I understand I'm a product of my environment. I understand that this happened to me, that happened to me. But if anybody was like me, I was a very angry person. I literally was very angry. I held a lot in, and I never talked about my issues with a lot of people. I never talked about the things that happened to me with a lot of people. I didn't feel like I could. And then it's just manifested as anger and hatred and, wanting to fight and wanting to, curse people out and do all these things. But it came across so negatively. So now when I'm facing challenges, I can hold my head high and walk away from the things and the people, make that clear, and the people who I feel like I don't resonate with. So even if somebody's trying to communicate with me and I know we're not on the same page, it's easier for me to just and walk away, because it doesn't make any sense, okay? It doesn't make any sense for me to stay in a place where I feel unwanted and people really don't like you. I don't do that. I won't communicate with people. I won't put myself in a position where it makes me angry, okay? That doesn't mean that things don't happen that forces me to be in that place, because I definitely am going to speak up for myself every single time. There's never a time where you should not speak up for yourself. Okay, I'm going to tell you that again. There's never a time where you should not speak up for yourself. You don't got to be rude. You don't got to be belligerent. You don't got to get out here and act all ghetto. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to argue with them. You speak your piece. You walk away. You speak your piece and you walk away. Okay, you don't do tick for tat. We don't do energy matching over here, because to me that's dumb. If you're upset and you're negative and you like to do all these things that I'm no longer at that avenue, baby, I'm gonna drive right past you. I'm not gonna stay here on the corner with you. I'm not gonna do it. because I'm past it. I'm just not going to do it. Okay. And you shouldn't either. But you definitely should speak up for yourself. You should speak up for the things that matter the most to you. Okay. Never let people run over you, because that also is one of those people pleasing things where you feel like, oh, if I just let them, say whatever they're going to say or do whatever they're going to do, they'll go away eventually. They'll do that. Like, no, baby. No, don't do that. You stand your ground. You stand your ground. You stand firm. You stand knowing that you got 10,000 angels behind you, beside you, and in front of you. There is nothing that can harm you. You stand there. You speak your piece. Even if it shakes, you say it. Okay? Now, the last affirmation I have for you guys is, I allow myself to grow, heal, and begin again. And that is important, because even when you've been through the hurt, even when you've been through the pain, even when you feel guilt with shame, even if you feel anger, lack, fear, no matter what it is, regardless, you can start again. It's simple as saying, you know what? I'm just going to do it again. Like, it's just that easy. Okay? Like, we think that everything starts when other things outside of us start. It starts in our minds. It starts in our subconscious. So when you're thinking about healing, guess what's happening? It starts here. You get the thought. You get the process. You start to feel and heal and see things that other people, and you start to imagine it. You start to imagine yourself, seeing yourself in this place, or being in that house, like, ooh, I see that house. Ooh, I love that house. I can't wait till I get my house. I can't wait till I get my new car. I can't wait to be like that with everything, okay? Be like that with everything. Be consistent in the things that you desire. Be consistent in your healing process, okay? Because you can begin again. For anyone out there who feels like they cannot, you can begin again. There is nothing stopping you from being your highest, best version. Sometimes we go through things, but it's meant to uplift you, not to harm you, okay? Stop thinking about it like you're the victim. You're not the victim. We don't do victim over here. We are not victims. It happened. I understand it. I learned this from it, and now I'm moving on. I'm literally just moving on. Like, because you don't stay in that energy and frequency. You may not understand it. You may not at the time like want to go through it. It may hurt. You may get angry. You might be in a space where you are just like struggling or whatever to get through it. But listen, keep going. That progress makes perfect, okay? You're going to be in the perfect place at the perfect time, with the perfect healing, with the perfect people, at the best time for you, at your highest version time for you, on your timeline. So I'm going to tell you again, this is not a competition between you and anyone else. Your healing is not up for debate. What you do is not up for debate. Your loving yourself is not up for debate. Nothing you do is up for debate. So from this point on, you guys need to understand that holding on to this guilt and this shame is not up for debate when it's time to release. There's no need for you to hold on to anything outside of you that is not saying they love you or it loves you. Do not try to keep people and things and situations in your life if they are not serving you for your highest good. Highest good, okay? That's important, because you'll be surprised at how many people that I work with and know who try to hold on to the things from the past while still trying to push forward to the future. It does not work. It does not work. You're going to have to release it. You're going to have to release it. You're going to have to want to walk in your power, okay? And when we say begin again, we're not trying to take 50 steps back. So just saying, oh, I made progress. Okay, I'm just going to go back to being my old self and then I'm going to come back. Like, no, we're not doing that. That's not what we do here in this community. That's not what we're going to do. What we do is we uphold our higher self. We see our higher self and we understand that there's an action plan. There's things that need to be done in order for us to get to this part. And in order for us to get there, we have to keep moving forward. We cannot go backwards. Now, say you start a diet or something, you may say, you know what, I'm going to go eat a cheeseburger today. Okay, reward yourself. And then tomorrow, start again. If you're going to the gym and you say today, I'm not going to the gym, Okay? So start again tomorrow. If you don't have a good day and you end up having to say whatever you need to say to somebody or get out your energy, right? Start again tomorrow. If you just wake up and have a bad day, guess what? Start again tomorrow. Don't allow yourself to stay in that energy. Don't carry it. There's no need to walk around with it like a backpack on your back. Release it, let it go, because it's no longer serving you, and it doesn't serve you unless it's pushing you forward. Okay? Now, when we're dealing with the shadow work, right? Let me move this down a little bit. When we're dealing with our shadow work, here's the thing. Shame heals through the embodiment, which is not just thinking differently, but it's being differently, okay? When you are focusing on shame, you're going to actually have to do something about it. You're going to actually have to shift out of the perception on who you're thinking you are, what you're saying to yourself, whatever, okay? You gotta move out of it. You speak to yourself the truth in your voice that feels loving and kind. And sometimes you're gonna have to bark at yourself. I'm gonna tell you now. Cause at the end of the day, like, you do not stay where you at. You question everything that you're doing. You make sure you are in alignment with the things that, in the places that you are trying to go. You do not allow yourself to stay stagnant, stop, or feel guilty any longer. When we're dealing with shame, remember that it is pointed towards personal. It is pointed towards self. So I am not worthy. That is stemming from like a point of shame. Okay? Why is that? What made you get there? What made you feel that way? What did you go through that literally catapulted you to this point in your life? Okay? That's important. So you want to speak it, even if it makes your voice shake. You have to say it. You have to get it out, okay? Number 2, I want you to do is to set boundaries without guilt. This is clear, okay? This is clear. And I'm going to tell y'all, I had this problem with my yard. Like, I literally felt guilty for asking these people to respect my space. I felt guilty for a while. I was like, well, maybe they never had a house before. Maybe they just don't understand. Maybe they don't know how to communicate properly. Maybe they wasn't taught that. I literally made every excuse. But now I have to stand my ground. I have to stand in my power and say, no, I don't want you to do this. No, this is not acceptable. No. And you have to say it as many times as you need to. Do not stop. Because you never ever let people make you feel like what you desire, what you want, and respecting your boundaries is nonsense, okay? You never let them make you feel that way, all right? Because that might be a lesson also for them. It might be a lesson for them, not you. So look at it like you're helping them, even if they don't realize it, okay? Now, celebrate your small wins because it helps enforce self-worth, right? We get that. We understand that. I know we heard this a million times, right? But you have to celebrate yourself. Now, when we're talking about from a spiritual perspective, let's talk about that real quick, okay? Because I really want you to understand that most spiritual practices, most spiritual traditions are rooted in this, okay? It's rooted in shame, it's rooted in guilt. Because if you don't do everything right, then you're going to die. You're going to go to hell. You're going to you're going to live in eternal fire and all these things. Now, if you believe that, that is perfectly fine for you. But for those who are not in that place, release it. Release it, okay? Release it. We have to understand that it's all an illusion. It's meant to transcend you. But if you don't put yourself in a place where you can see through the illusions, then you'll stay in that place of feeling stuck, okay? Now, saying things to yourself like you are worthy, that your soul is learning through a human experience, which is absolutely true. So it's not like you're saying anything that's false. You're saying everything that is correct, everything that is positive, right? Now, right here, forgiveness is a divine self-reflection and self-liberating act, okay? This means that when you decide to set yourself free, to release it, to forgive, to just be in that space where you are kinder to yourself, where you can soften the blow for yourself, all of these things is literally putting you in a place where, guess what? You can release it. It's liberating, right? It's just like, ugh, I don't no longer have to be in this place. I no longer have to stay in this energy. I no longer have to carry these things on my back. I don't have to do it. And you don't have to do it, okay? So here's one thing. When I let go of guilt, I return to grace. When I let go of guilt, I return to grace. It's the same thing for shame, guys. When you get back to that place, now your energetic field can light up and brighten and expand. So every time you're releasing, thinking about you expanding a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And that's a beautiful visual for you to be able to use every time you have to forgive, every time you feel like you need to just adjust to become the higher version of yourself, to be in that space where you are fully healing and integrating the loving, peaceful energy, okay? Now, the other thing is like when we're thinking about this, guys, like I want you guys to go back to where it started to, okay? Where did it start for you? Because that's important to know. Where did all of this start? When did you understand or start to feel guilty? What made you feel that way? And you know I love a writing exercise, so this is a writing exercise that I want you guys to do. And put it in your journals. Make sure that you are being honest with yourself, because that is key. That is key. Okay, so be honest with yourself. Do not allow yourself to be in a space where you are just repetitively saying the same thing to yourself over and over and making excuses for others. We do not make excuses for other people. You cannot control other people, but at the same time, you can speak your piece to them. You can speak up. You can say what it is that you like and don't like, what you're going for, what you're not going for. Okay, so at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own peace. And only doing that is by speaking up for yourself. You have to do that. You have to do that, okay? So even when you're in that space where you're not even sure how to say it, like I said, say it if your voice shakes. Say it if you're trembling. Say it anyway. Because you need to set those boundaries. You need to be in a place of love and peace and joy and abundance because you deserve it. When you go back to thinking about that, like I said before, like what started that? How did you get there? What made you feel guilt? What made you feel shame? Okay, write it out. Blue or black pen, okay? Because it's literally going to acknowledge where it stemmed from. You know how much acknowledgement to things that I have been carrying in my life, like for this long, like I literally did not realize a lot of these things that I was carrying, the feelings were stemming all the way back from childhood, from my elementary school days, okay, guys? So it is important that we understand that because you can carry it forever and you never, ever want to keep holding on to it because you don't want to manifest it into disease. You don't want to manifest it into lack. You don't want to manifest it into illness. You know, you don't want to be in that space. You want to make sure that you're allowing yourself to flow freely, right? We need to be flowing like water. Flowing like water is our goal. All right. With that healing and that peace, absolutely. Of course, we need to be there, right? So, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you understand guilt and shame a little bit better. And I hope you're willing to release. If you are willing to release all this guilt and shame that we have built up, that we have stored into our bodies ever since we were kids, no matter what it's from, it can be from religion, it can be from relationships, it can be from school, it can be from a job, it can be from just not feeling your best, from not loving yourself enough. No matter what it is, drop in the comment box, release. I am releasing today. I am releasing today because we are proclaiming what it is that we desire. We are proclaiming what it is that we want. And guess what? You absolutely deserve that peace. You absolutely deserve that wealth. You absolutely deserve everything that you are called to have. If you can desire it, is for you. If you can see it and you can envision yourself having it, being in it, driving in it, living in it, doing it, it is absolutely for you. So until next time, guys, I wish you lots of love and luck. Have a great, great day times 10 million, okay? I hope all your dreams and desires come true. I hope everything that you're working on manifests today, instantaneously, just like that, because you deserve it, okay? And until next time, guys, peace.